You're listening to Entrepreneur's Enigma, a podcast about the ups and downs of the entrepreneurial journey. Every week, your host Seth Goldstein interviews entrepreneurs from all walks of life about their entrepreneurial journeys. From store owners to Fortune 500 CEOs, we all have stories to tell. So sit back and join us for the next 20 or so minutes while we explore the entrepreneurial world.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to another edition of the Entrepreneur's Enigma podcast. I am your host, as always, Seth, with Podcast Mastery and Goldstein Media. Today, I have Larry Kesslin, who is a 4-time author. Yes, he wrote 4 books. And we're going to talk about his playing cards he has, these question cards we just show me beforehand as well. But Larry is the recent author of The Joy Molecule. I'm holding it in my hand for those who are listening and not watching. Great book. It's like 109 pages. I mean, if you can't get through this in 2 days, max, you're really a slow reader. You should read it twice, because the one time you read it through, it's not enough. You got to read it twice. You read it once, get the gist of it. I mean, it's short enough you can read it twice. So read it twice. That's what you got to do. So anyhow, Larry, after decades long of the entrepreneurial journey, including a life-changing trip to Africa, so there you go, Larry, he now helps high achievers redefine success, reconnect with those who they truly are. No, connect with who they truly are. That's the correct English. I'm from Philadelphia. I don't know how to speak. And you're from New York, so you know what I'm talking about. And create lives filled with meaning, connection, and, no pun intended, joy. Through his frameworks around identity, purpose, and conscious connection, Larry guides people to shift from what they do to why they're here. He brings deep wisdom, powerful stories, and a grounded human approach to transformation. So, Larry, how's it going, big guy?
Doing great, Seth. Thanks for having me.
Of course you're doing great. You're in San Diego. It's always gorgeous. Of course.
I'm actually.
We were just talking before the show about that. Yeah.
I'm gonna sweat a lot today, but compared to what I grew up in, it's nothing. It's absolutely nothing. I wake up every day, I look outside, and I am so blessed. Like, I truly understand what it means in my world to be blessed beyond measure. So
I love it. I love how San Diegans don't know humidity. We were talking about that before.
No
how
clue.
You know people, they're like, it's so humid today. He's like, you have no idea what humidity is.
Not if you're
out
born
and
and
your
raised in
hair's
San
curly
Diego.
when it's really straight, that kind of thing. That's humidity.
Yep.
So how does this whole thing get started? I mean, you had decades long of entrepreneurialness and whatnot.
I still have entrepreneurialness.
You just put a whole deck of cards.
Once you become an entrepreneurialist type of human, you realize that we're all genetically unemployable. But society teaches us that if you want to be safe and comfortable, then you go get a job. And when I was in my late 20s, I started studying all the people around me. And the only people that I saw that were happy, really happy and fulfilled and had the things in their life that they really wanted, were not working for a corporation. They were working for themselves.
Corporations are soul sucking. No, corporations are. Small businesses, maybe not so much, but big companies, they suck your soul out of you.
They believe they own you. Yeah, there's a challenge right now in society. But so I two major events in my life that happened. One was going to Colorado in 1993 with 85 inner city kids, week-long volunteer project. And I came back from that trip and 2 days later quit my job at GE. So I'd been at GE for almost 5 years, and I decided to walk away from that. And then almost 20 years later, in 2012, I went to Africa. Huh. And the reason that I left my job is because I saw these 17-year-old, 16-year-old kids that I brought to Aspen, and they were having a blast, and they had so much less than I did. And then I went to Africa, and I saw people that truly had less than I did.
Less than that, even.
Yeah, and they were happy, dude. They were smiling and bubbly, and they wanted to be of service. And I came home from that trip, and I'm literally sitting in JFK Airport wondering what I had just experienced. I was in Africa for over 3 weeks, 25 days.
Where'd you go?
We went to Uganda and Kenya. We brought computers to rural villages. So I was there to unlock the internet for these young people in 2012. It was 5 years after John Coney had left and the whole child soldier thing was going on in Uganda. And I'm sure Jewish. I'm Jewish. There's a community in eastern Uganda called the Abayadaya. So I end up going to the Abayadaya. It's like 500 Jews out of the 1,500 all of Uganda live in this one community. Rabbi Gershom is the rabbi there. So we stay at the guest house, and beautiful building that they built for people to come and visit. And we saw all the people there, and they were so happy, man, just so full of life. And I couldn't comprehend. I went there to save them. Like,
they saved you,
white man with collar, Superman cape on. I'm here to save the world. And I realized that they didn't need to be saved. They didn't even ask to be saved. Yet that was part of my belief system. And then 7 weeks later, I go to this conference in Mexico and was asked 3 questions that changed my life. And those 3 questions are, what is poverty? Who gets to define it? And why are we trying to fix it? And my mind kind of exploded. I'm like, okay.
Kaboom.
I thought poverty equaled misery, and I just witnessed poverty, but maybe I didn't witness poverty. Maybe I just witnessed impoverishment. And maybe we're poor and they're not poor. And the question is, what is
different
poverty?
terms of poor, or different terms? I mean, it's different for different people.
Yeah,
Like,
so I think we're emotionally
monetarily versus emotionally, like you were just saying.
Yeah, we're emotionally starved in the United States. And the reason we go and try and fix them, why are we trying to fix it, is I think we're trying to make them look more like us so we can feel better about our lifestyle.
Ooh, yeah, that's totally true. Yeah, in this, I mean, there's happy Americans, not many of them right now, but I mean, we'll leave that one alone. But I mean, you can be happy, but you can still not always be happy. I mean, like,
happiness and joy to me are 2 different things. Happiness is a circumstance-based thing. Happiness is what's going on around you. Joy, to me, is something totally different. Joy, and the way I describe it in the book and the way that I live it in my life today, joy is a knowing. It's a knowing that I am not my thoughts, I'm not my feelings. But in the book, I define it as knowing what you are, who you are, and why you are. When you know those 3 things, you know that nobody can tell you anything other than what you know yourself to be. So joy to me is a knowing. It's a not being able to be moved off center. It's the world is not telling you who you are. You are demonstrating to the world who you are. And you know that your identity and your ego. So for me, I've had to learn some really powerful lessons. I'll be 63 in about a month. So for me, 6+ decades of trying to perform to be what I thought other people wanted or needed me to be. And then one day I went through an experience, plant medicine experience, and it was the 6th one I'd gone through in about 4 years. And my spirit left my body. Like I was gone for a couple hours, like long time. And I thought I had ascended. I thought I was done. I thought my body was just there as a vessel to get me to that place. And then I came back. And I came back into this body, and I'm sitting here going, holy crap, I just saw a possibility I never knew existed. And it all started because of Sam Harris, who has a Waking Up app. He says, you can't meditate to a place you've never been. So I started looking at psychedelics as a place, well, I could get there with psychedelics, and that'll help me meditate more deeply. And it has. And it's also given me a perspective of what I truly am as a creature on this planet. So I'm a being that has access to a mind, body, and dexterity and everything else. So my mind produces thought, my body produces feelings, and I'm the being observing it all. And joy lives at knowing that, not thinking that, knowing that I am a being that has a mind and a body, and I get to be every day. And when thoughts come into my head that I don't like, I just say, stop, enough.
Yeah.
I don't need that right now. And the thoughts are all products of what I've learned over my lifetime, of what I observed. And not even what happened, but what I observed happening and my interpretation of what I saw. So how can that all be true? It's just my truth. It's my reality, but it's not truth. It's just the way that I see the world. So I did a workshop for my clients. I had a company for 20 years where I ran peer groups for companies all across the US that were in the IT industry. And I ended up creating this presentation to them about your unique lens. Nobody sees the world the way that you do. So I've always asked the question, when I look at the picture in front of me and I see blue, and I tell you that's blue, you see the same thing and you say that's blue. But if I look through your eyes, would I see the same thing? Just because we've both grown up our whole life labeling these things the same doesn't mean that in this moment you're seeing what I'm seeing. And our minds are taught to filter all this information over our entire lifetime. So we're only taking in the information that we want and we deem as acceptable.
Oh yeah, we miss. Isn't it something that we miss like 60 or 70% of like everything around us? Like more than that even. Yeah. Like we miss so much.
You're living in this.
But yeah, have you ever looked in the refrigerator and can't find the damn yogurt, and it's right in front of you, and you stare for like an hour at a time, and you can't find it? Then all of a sudden it's right there. Was it there before? Possibly, but you didn't see it. That was a true story from today. Oh my!
We're crazy creatures, my friend. We are.
I couldn't find it. I couldn't see it. I couldn't see the yogurt. Literally right in front of me. Like
scary.
Right there.
It's an age thing, Seth.
Oh my God, I'm not looking forward to that. So
early on,
you've done all these things. You've gone the distance. Literally, you've gone to Africa for crying out loud. That's a long distance. You've gone the distance.
I've been to Australia. I've been to New Zealand. I've been to Asia. I've done a lot of long trips. Yeah,
a lot of long trips. And you've also done the corporate, and you've dumped the corporate, dumped GE. What is the best thing about being an entrepreneur in your mind? For you
freedom.
Especially,
freedom. Yeah, I mean, this whole success redefine thing. I define success as at 28 as the ability to do what I want whenever I want to do it.
Oh, I love that.
And that was my definition at 28. And that worked for me for about 20 years. And then when I went to Africa, I was 48 and I was successful. And then I saw people infinitely happier than I was.
And
I'm like, okay,
I'm successful.
And they're happier than I am, then I don't want to be successful. I want to be significant.
I want to be what they are. Can I have some of that, please? Can I have some whatever they're having? I want some of that.
Yeah, it's like when Harry met Sally. So no, it's
some what they have. Yeah,
I want what she's having. Yes. So
exactly.
We have this opportunity to go look at it. And people would say to me, I bet you can't wait to go back to Africa. I'm like, I can wait. It was hot. It was Africa hot. Like you think
Africa. I mean, we're kvetching about how, San Diegans don't know anything about humidity. East Coasters don't know anything about humidity until you go to Africa.
That is true.
That is humidity.
Crazy. It was crazy.
That's when straight hair goes really curly.
Well, they all have curly hair because that's what the nature.
It's what you can. That's what you can deal with right there.
Yeah. So all I can tell you is that trip had so much impact on my life in so many different ways, and I feel blessed today to have been able to synthesize, which is what one of my gifts are. So when you realize that you're a being having a human experience, then my belief is that our role is to figure out, based on this skin sack that I was given, what are the gifts that this being was given at birth, and what's some of the wisdom that it's earned. So I've earned entrepreneurship. I've earned understanding human connection. My gifts have been connecting. My mind works in a certain way. When I meet people, names pop in my head. And I've thought everybody did that. And I'm realizing I'm a connector. And actually, based on some people I know, they would call me a super connector. Is that I think about people all the time. And when I meet someone, it's like, oh, there's 10 people I know you should meet. So I got introduced to a guy this last Friday. Military, SEAL. I live in San Diego, lots of military. 11% of our population works for the military. Yeah. And 30+% are related to or families of military and veterans. And it's a huge military population. So I get introduced to this Navy SEAL, and he's looking at career change. And he's not been in the business community. His first job was with Dexcom, big corporation, tens of thousands of employees, if not more. And he's like, I want to do something different.
Yeah.
And I want to do something different. And he's a super nice guy. And I'm saying, dude, there's so many people I can introduce you to. Where do I start?
Yeah.
So I started with 3 really good people, and I'm going to meet with them in another 30 days. And I've offered this service to others, is if you come to me and you want to get to know San Diego, if you're new to the city or new to the business community, I've been networking for over a decade, and I've met a lot of the
Larry
main
knows a
influencers.
guy.
Yeah.
Larry knows a
I know
gal.
lots of
Exactly.
guys and lots of women that
Yeah.
can open up doors for you that wouldn't have happened without that introduction. And most of the people in San Diego that know me says, if Larry says we should meet, we should probably meet.
We're going to take a quick break, hear from our sponsors, and get right back to the show.
That, to me, is a gift. That's what I was gifted with. That's not something that it's not me. I could tell you a story. So Bill Walton, San Diegan. So Bill Walton's daughter-in-law is Tracy Walton.
Okay.
Married to her, Bill's son, Adam. And so I meet her at a networking event through the San Diego Sports Innovators, which Bill was very involved in. And this is now 6 months-ish after he passed. Okay. And so I meet her. I carry around, I was telling you I'm going to turn my cards into my business card, but these are my current business cards. I carry around a poker chip. And the poker chip is my 5 dots, and on the back is my contact information. And I love being memorable. So I give this woman my poker chip, and she says hi, and I'm seeing the last name Walton. I'm wondering if she's related, but she goes. And she goes to talk to somebody else, and somebody else said to her, she says, I'm looking to do something different than what I'm doing. She says, you should call him. And she's like, why would I call him? And he said, because he's a connector. So she calls me and she sets up a meeting. She says, so what do you do? I said, well, I have this service and I help people find the people they're supposed to meet. She says, well, I can't afford you, but my father-in-law just passed away. He was an amazing human being. I've been a project manager in corporate America for my whole career. I got 2 little kids, and I've always wanted to work in women's sports. I said, I don't know anybody in town who works in that, but I'll keep it in mind. The next week I go to Rotary. I meet Amy Brown. Amy Brown is the head of business development at Meals on Wheels. And I set up a meeting with Amy Brown like 2 or 3 weeks later. And I said, I'd like to come in and get to know you because I really have invested a lot over the last decade in the nonprofit sector in San Diego. So I go to Meals on Wheels and she said, we're doing a photo shoot next Tuesday and I should have time. And my CEO will be here so you can come by and we can talk. So I go by and guess who's doing a photo shoot there? It's the women's soccer team in San Diego, the San Diego Wave. So I'm there for about 90 minutes. And the first 60 minutes, I'm just watching this whole thing, getting to know Amy, hanging out with the CEO, getting to know them, learning about their programs all over the region.
Yeah, doing what you need to do.
I sit down at a table and this woman walks by me wearing a volunteer shirt. And I said, do you happen to work for the team? And she's like, yeah, why? I said, what's your role? And she gave me some fancy title. Basically, she's a VP of HR.
Oh, perfect.
And I said,
holy crap. That's
only person I talked to. Exactly. So I said, I met Bill Walton's daughter-in-law and I'd love to introduce you. Are you open to an introduction? So this is now probably April. I met her in February. So this is probably March, April of 2025.
Wow.
And so I send an email and I introduce the 2 of them. Then I see Tracy like 2 months later. Oh, it's been on and off and we haven't really done anything. So that was probably June. And then I see her in August. It says, yeah, they gave me a contract. So I'm now head of project management for the team. And her boss was there that night. And she introduced me to her boss and said, this is the guy who got me in touch with the team. And her boss looked at me and says, so thank you so much. I wouldn't be able to do my job without her. She's amazing. And
that's awesome.
So
that's fantastic.
That to me is gift. That is not something
a word. Yeah, exactly.
So I wake up every day. My being's job, my knowing, is to figure out why I have the skills I have and what I'm supposed to do with them. Now I coach and I teach. And so my income comes from helping people probably between 35 and 50, mostly males, that are struggling between work, family, life, understanding. I call it adulting, happily adulting. So how do you become an adult and do it happily versus struggling to think you need to keep up with the Joneses on everything?
Yeah.
And what I'm starting to do now is this book just came out last year. So I've been working on the keynote. I've been working on all the Spark cards, which are my question cards. And how do I build a platform that allows me to talk to audiences about this idea? And then the real market is how do I talk to college students? How do I help people realize early in their life?
Yeah.
Because they're struggling. I mean, the only role models they have are Jeff Bezos and Elon Musk and all these. Exactly. So how do they figure out what it means to be an adult when the world around them is showing them something totally different.
Exactly. So here's a question for you.
Sure.
Besides your spark cards, what is the most important thing to carry with you all the time? This can be as woo as you want to get.
Knowing.
What's that?
A sense of knowing. A physical object or?
No, it can be as woo as you want to get. A sense of knowing. I love that.
Carry with you this knowing that nobody can tell you anything than what you know yourself to be.
Oh, I love that, man. I love that. So people, so you have an assessment on your site, number 5-dots.com. And then the link will be in the show notes. So people can just click on it and send me saying assessment -1, which I just did, but you don't have to remember it's in the show notes. And where do you hang out online? Like, is it LinkedIn? Is that your
mostly LinkedIn?
Home? Mostly LinkedIn. Yeah.
LinkedIn's my home.
LinkedIn's your home online. Absolutely, Larry.
I've got
has been so
social
much
media
fun.
person that does stuff on.
You gotta be everywhere,
Facebook,
but you don't have to be everywhere. You pick one spot and be there smartly. That's the key.
Yep. And you?
Larry,
where do you hang out?
I'm everywhere. I'm everywhere because I have to, because it's my business. But mostly LinkedIn's my ordering hall.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's a beautiful life. I mean, you live in a wonderful. We live in a wonderful country. No matter what's going on, you can complain about all the different stuff.
But if you travel globally, it's not that bad. Yeah.
I've been to 42 countries, and if you start to see the world, you have so much appreciation for what we have here. And there are some beautiful cultures around the world that I would choose based on how they culturally function. And the challenge is that we have family and friends and lives here. So, but there are other cultures I've experienced where connection and gratitude and love are the pervasive way of being versus greed, consumption, and winning, which to me is the culture of the United States. And not that that's bad. I don't look at things as good or bad, but it doesn't serve me.
Exactly. Knowing that is the battle. So, Larry, this has been so much fun. I'm so glad we finally got you on.
It's been a pleasure.
And we'll see everyone next week.
That was a great show. If you're enjoying Entrepreneur's Enigma, please consider giving us a review in the podcast directory of your choice. Every review helps us reach new listeners. If you like Entrepreneur's Enigma, consider the other shows on the Marketing Podcast Network at marketingpodcast.net.